Welcome back everyone to the GPO tier list, and today we're gonna go over a couple things. First, I've added two columns, boss rate bonuses and CV's bonus. So this is gonna reward fruits that can do boss rates very well and can farm sea beasts. Now let's go over the big ones, the ones that can do these very good. So for boss rates, we got Buddha. It has the highest rating because it's just massive when you go into your ultimate form, and well, you pretty much guaranteed that you're gonna get 5%. It's guaranteed. All your moves are massive AoEs, and some of them grab the boss even when it's getting swarmed by other people. It's very easy to just farm bosses with this. You can even solo some of them simply because of how much damage reduction you have when you're in ultimate form. Next we have Soul. Soul has the laser, which you can kinda use it for the boss, but what really makes Soul shine is the Soul summoning moveset, because most of the summons actually auto-target. You can spawn 3 turrets, and the turrets are gonna spit whatever they're spitting to the boss from far away, or actually I think that they have a small range, but it's auto aim. That means it's guaranteed it's gonna hit the boss no matter how many jumps or from the knockback from other moves or whatever, it's gonna hit it. So that's really good, and I think they do quite a lot of damage. Next we have Storm Chaser. You remember that move? It's the Zeus move that you just throw him and he chases you until you get hit by him, and then he fairly does 750 damage or something like that, plus stuns you, which is all very, very, very imbalanced, especially how fast he comes out. And pretty much just guarantees you get 5% the first time you do that move. So it's going to get a 4, because it's just kind of disgusting for boss rates. Now, I'm not even going to mention the ultimates that this fruit has, but you need to farm souls for that, and it's kind of annoying that you need to pretty much get the weapon, which is Napoleon, to farm those souls better and be able to use the other rage movesets. A bit annoying, but still really good for boss rates, so I gave it a 4. Who else has a big bonus? I guess Doku has sort of a big bonus, and that's because of also the auto-aim moves. It has Venom Hydra, it has the big storm, the Poison Storm Cloud thing, and the grab. Those are pretty good moves. I give it a 3. Who else? Oh, Horror. I gave Horror 4 because as soon as you throw your mini Hollow Barrage, there's like nothing that's gonna not get hit by it. You're pretty much guaranteed to hit the barrage every single time. Now, it's only good in boss rates, not when you're doing it alone. So I should remove 1 point. There we go, 1 point. Because if you try to solo with this fruit, you're gonna get your ass kicked. The moment the boss gets close to you, you're gonna die. You're not gonna be able to do your mini barrage or whatever to save you. And that's pretty much it. Only those fruits got very big bonuses. Now, let's talk about Pika V2 and Mochi V2. Pika V2, when I started adding this, I immediately went to S tier, and then when I gave it the bonuses, it became the best fruit in the game, to no one's surprise. It has the best mobility, so I gave it 5. It has the fruit in 1, so I gave it 5, and because they scale with the fruit, that's why they're 5. It has 2 passives, the Logia and the dashes. Boss rate bonus, I give it a 2 because it's decent. It's not good against small bosses, but big bosses, they get shredded by these two, the Pika and Pika V2. So honestly, I will put 3 points on both of those. Now, Sea Beast, they're, well, since they're in the water, you can't use Pika Laser on any of the versions of the fruit, but you can use Juice of Light and the Kick. So Pika V2, even though it has less damage because of Juice of Light being a normal move in V2, it still has a better light kick that splits into 3 and does up to 650 damage. So it kind of balances it out, and I gave it 2 points. As well as for the normal version, I gave it 2 points as well. Because even though Juice of Light is way better in Pika V1, the light kick is only 100. So I'm ranking this based on using the fruit in the middle of the sea while fighting a sea beast with nothing else, just the fruit itself. So you're getpoing constantly in the air using the moves that you can only use in the air. So something like Light Lunge is probably gonna make you get killed. Something like Mirror Kick is also probably not that good. And that's pretty much it. And you can't use Pika Laser because you're in the above the water, and the water, you know, if you use it, you're gonna fall down and die. So that's why it didn't receive a good CB's bonus, but it's okay. Pika V2 has 3 great skills compared to Pika's 2, which earned it a lot of points, but something that Pika V2 doesn't have is a perfect skill, which is surprising. But that's because the ultimate, Jewels of Light, which is perfect, it got changed into that normal move and it's no longer perfect because it's a less reliable and does less damage. Alright, now Mochi V2. Mochi V2, without any of these column bonuses, it got into A tier. Before I added mobility bonuses and all those bonuses, it got into A tier and I was really surprised. Mochi V2 is usually, you know, below V1 for PVE. But the reason why it scored so high is because all of its moves are pretty decent. As well as the barrages are Bluetooth. You know, I've always said that this fruit is the Bluetooth fruit. You can be far away and you just point and click at the boss and boom, a barrage spawns out of nowhere. Boom, whatever the hell you just did just spawns on the boss. So technically that's pretty useful for boss raids because you don't have to be next to the boss. Now I applied the bonuses and that made it even better. So from A tier it went to S tier. We got mobility bonus because donut roll, and Devil Fruit M1s because you get M1s from the Devil Fruit. But I didn't give them 5 even though it scales with Devil Fruit, and that is because for you made it less reliable. So somebody can stand in front of you and you can miss all your M1s because your own M1 hitbox, the one of your character, doesn't count. Only the fists that you spawn next to you or in front of you have the hitbox that counts. So if they get too close to you, you're just gonna be staring at them face to face, and it's gonna be a little bit awkward. It has one passive, which is Ken Haki. Boss raid bonus, I gave it a 1 because the Chestnut Mochi, even though it does 500 only, it has auto aim if you do it a certain way. So I think that's really good. Now, Chestnut Mochi got nerfed in V2, pretty much. Damage cut to half. So I didn't give it anything in Sea-Beast because Mochi doesn't have anything you can use above water. Every other move pretty much is a point and click, and the moment you use it, you're probably going to fall in the water. So, there we go. S tier. Bottom of S tier, but still a significant jump from Yami. I mean, yeah, all the moves have very good damage, so yeah. Anyways, there's your new tier list with all the fruits. Now let's, just in case, because I made some changes earlier, sorry. Just in case, let me do again the sorting. We put that a header, we make it so that it's ranked by PVE%, and from C to A, so strongest to weakest, boom. Yeah, absolutely nothing changed. Alright, let's go over the patch notes now. So here we are at the GPO Whole Cake Part 1.5 patch notes from January 16, which was yesterday. We don't care about any of this, we care only about the balance changes. Here we go, Devil Fruits. There's some very significant ones here. Dragon, Pteranodon, and Soul can now fly out of water. That is insane. In fact, I believe I've already changed the points. Let me see. Soru, yep, they're now 4. Soru, Ryu, and Dragon have 4 points now. That's how good it is. Next we have Dragon. Hybrid M1s. Now scale with Devil Fruit stat. That means Dragon got another buff, and now its Devil Fruit M1 bonus is 5, compared to the 3 or 2 it had before. Next we have Gomu Gatling, now knockbacks at the end of the barrage. That is okay, but that's not gonna be defining in any way. Lightning Wrath, startup decrease, cool. Blast Clutcher, 15 whole second increase on the cooldown, what the hell? What? Okay, whatever for you. Ice Stomp, increase from 7 to 14 seconds, that doesn't really matter. Now this one's a big change. Donut Roll. The duration was increased from 10 seconds to a whole minute. You can drive a whole minute now. Now you might be thinking, wait, doesn't this move also trap players when you run them over? Are you gonna be on a 1-minute cutscene? No, actually. Later in the patch notes, they're gonna explain it. So Paw Barrage. I don't know why Paw received this change, but I think it's PvP. Paw Barrage. The block break of the barrage was removed. I didn't know it had one, and the damage was cut in half. I don't know why. Why was the damage cut in half? It wasn't doing crazy damage. If we go over here, where is it? NICU. I feel like I'm going over it and there it is, NICU. Yeah, in fact, I was already selecting it. Okay, Paw Barrage. It was doing 400 damage according to the points I gave it, and that was with max though for 400 points, which is not really that big of a deal. Mochi's barrages do easily 400 damage by themselves. So, and they're pretty much guaranteed. They're combo extenders. So why did Power Barrage? I don't know. But because it was cut in half, sadly, I'm gonna have to cut the damage points in half as well. Because 1 point is for 200 damage, 2 points is for 400 damage, 600, and so on. And it had 2, that means it did 400 or so damage. It was cut in half, that means it now does 200 and something damage. Very sad news for Paw. Let's go back. Phoenix. Bunch of cooldown increases, which is really bad. M1s were slowed down a little bit, but the damage wasn't touched, so I'm just gonna keep it like that. And you can now heal party members in safe zones. Hooray! And that's pretty much it. Soul. Blaze Eruption. This move is actually from the sword, the Napoleon. It's not actually part of the move or like the fruit. So the additional M1 damage that you got from the ultimate of the sword, the damage was halved. Which was, well, the damage buff was pretty big. It gave you like 20 more damage to your M1. So if you had 20, it would give you 40 damage M1s. And now it's half of that. So I guess that means it only gives you 10. So from 20 to 30. Alright, I guess. It doesn't change the fruit at all, so I'm not going to do anything. Storm Chaser, though, now applies damage reduction. What does that mean? So when you use the move, you get damage reduction? Like a temporal damage reduction? Huh? What does that mean? I'm not too sure, but what it says after confuses me even more, because it says it applies to skills used by the user? Damage reduction to skills. Well, since skills don't have health, the only damage that can be reduced is the damage you do. Does that mean when you use Storm Chaser, all your moves have a damage debuff? I don't understand this, and well, maybe one day on Reddit I'll find out what it means. And that's pretty much it for balance changes. Except for one, actually. Mochi V2, Donut Roll, will still cancel after 10 seconds if you hit someone. So, yes, that means you won't be 1 whole minute dragging the person around doing a bunch of damage. No, it will still be the 10 seconds it lasted before. But if you don't hit anyone, it'll go for a whole minute. And that is pretty much it. Let me make sure there's nothing else. Ooh, whoa. Increased M1 damage on Hybrid Dragon. And I already gave it 5, that means it's still perfect. Very interesting. And that's it. That is all. So, now with these changes applied, I'm going to do the range again, like sort them. Okay, we're gonna sort them by PVE percent, from strongest to weakest. Sort. It seems nothing has really changed. Yeah. We're now at the tier list. So I've ranked the V2s. And, well, that's it. V2 is now... Pika V2 is now best fruit in the game. Mochi V2 is now at the bottom of S tier. And, yeah, that's it. Hooray! Woo! Oh wait. Let me make sure I saw that right. Paw is now behind Yuki and behind Bomo. Oh, whoa. So that means it's poop. It went down. Yes, this is a new tier list with the bonuses. You should eat all of this in S tier, and you should not eat anything below C tier. Well, anything in C tier and below. And there you have it. I hope you enjoyed the new updated tier list. And I see you guys on the next balance patch or whatever.